Okay, I'm going to do some more on video for you with my 3-inch paintbrush, my little 3-inch paintbrush, and you know, I'm not in a big old race or anything. And see, you're gonna have to get used to holding your paintbrush in different ways, because I can only put this ladder up in here only certain ways. Now see, from here, I just hold my paintbrush. I better get a little bit more on the tip. I just hold my paintbrush like that, and I can push it straight up. I can even close my eyes and push it straight up, and then tilt it out at an angle. Push up, tilt it, and along there, okay? And I got it, just like that. And if I'm going the other way, I do it the same way, okay? Now I'm just going to concentrate on getting that one tile. And see, that's why I like my little paint tray, because I know how much sealer I can put on my paintbrush at any one time. I couldn't really do that with that other little handheld bucket. Okay? I push it up and slide it up, put that out at an angle, straight across. I can do it the other way if I want. Whichever way makes it that you feel more comfortable, but like I say, you're going to end up having to learn how to do it both directions. Okay? Okay, so now I'm just going to get the grout lines. Get myself a little bit more on there. I mean, how hard is this? It's, good grief. Anybody should be able to do this. What better way to save yourself some money if you're thinking about sealing your floors in your shower? You know, don't pay a painter. How much is he going to charge you for this? I don't know. It could charge you $250 or more, depending on what kind of sealer he uses and that kind of stuff. And if you talk to a painter and you ask him, "Oh, do you think I can do this myself?" What do you think he's going to tell you? "I don't know. It's kind of tricky. You might get it all over the place. Why don't you just have me do it, and I'll take care of it for you. No problem." Yeah, no problem. He's going to take $250 out of your pocket or more, $300 for a job like this, depending how many tiles you got, how many floors you got, and oh, you're going to pay him to clean your tile floors too? Forget it. Get some simple green and do it yourself. I got videos of that too. Okay? Slide it up, stick it out at a 45-degree angle, pull it across. It's just nice and slow, nice and slow. Okay? You don't have to do it hard. And I'm doing it with this little cheap paintbrush too, for another reason. Maybe you don't want to spend very much money for your materials. You're not quite sure you want to do anything more after this. Well, get your throwaway paintbrush. That's what I'm doing it with the throwaway paintbrush, so you can see that, hey, I guess it's not that hard anyways. Teach yourself. Invest some time in yourself. Invest your time and money in yourself, okay? Alright, now I'm gonna get this now I can go down lower, can I? My nice little step stool here. Okay. You're not gonna see every little second of this because I'm in a confined little bathroom, but you get the point, don't you? You get the point on what I'm doing. Okay? I'm not gonna go down, well, I say I'm not gonna go down anymore, but I'm gonna go down one more tile. Okay? Just because I'm still right here, it's nice and easy for me to do it. Okay? I've already done this row, remember? Just remember where you stop and go. And you should see that anyways. Get plenty of light in your bathroom. If you have to use your construction light, get your construction light in here and turn that on. I've got mine, but I thought, I think I can do it without. I'm putting just a hair more on my paintbrush here, but I'm kind of wiping some of it off, lifting it up, and just getting it on there. You're only going to be able to put it on so thick anyways, okay? Now I've got this last one here where my grab bar is, and the trim of that happens to come off. I'm just going to leave my paint tray right here, okay? And then just take your brush and slide it. That's all I'm doing on here, okay? You'll trust me, you'll get good at it. You will get good at it. And if you're just right-handed and you don't want to do it with your left hand, there's always a way to do it with just one hand. You backhand it on there, okay? You slide it on there and stuff. If you get really good, you can use your left hand. If you're just right-handed, if you need to do it in certain areas and it's easier for you to get there, and like that, okay? So now I'm just going to wipe off some of the excess on this other tile, okay? Because I'm going to come back and do those tiles after a bit, okay? Now, did that really take that long? It didn't really take that long, did it? Okay. Now I'm going to get set up. And I still have some of that sealer left in here from before. I've used about half of what I put in there, which wasn't actually that much to begin with, okay? Okay, so now I'm just going to set this up this other way now. It just happens to fit almost perfectly in a tub. And okay, now I'm going to close it this way. See, if I really wanted to, I could pull these doors off. They've got wheels on the top. You kind of pop it up and take it out. But I didn't really want to mess with all that and do that. So I'm just sliding it around the way I want. And I'm going to get up here. I'm going to get up here in a minute and do some more. You're doing it. You're saving your money. Way to go. Now see here, I had about half as much as that from before. I don't know if you can really see that. It's almost the same color as the pan, huh? But you don't want to get so much in that it's going to slop around when you're moving it and all that, okay? So I'm not even going to pour any more in there just yet. I know I'm going to have to put some in a few minutes, but hey, I'll just leave what I have in there for now. And I'm just going to be careful when I move this around. And when I set it up there, okay, I'm going to check. Looking back on these tiles, I'm just making sure I just had a little run in the inside corner, and I'm not going to be too concerned with it. As it dries, when you watch it dry, depending what color your tiles are and stuff, it could dry splotchy as it's drying. Well, that's because the sealer is just drying. Just leave it alone. Don't go back over it. Just do it as best you can and make sure you get it off as best you can, okay? And once you're done with the tile, don't go back to it, really. You know, as it's drying. See, I'm just dipping in a little bit at a time to get some on there. And what I really should do is probably do this back wall and then work my way this way in case I'm up here and I don't want to hit this and then get sticky stuff all on me. Okay, so I got to remember where I stopped and started on that. And See, I've got, now I gotta reach out there. So I get a little bit on there. I've gotta reach over because I can't move my ladder any closer. So I'm up on my tippy toes. So I'm just gonna take this, slide it up right to the ceiling, come out at an angle and pull it over. Okay. And get it on this first little bit. And that's all. Okay. I can't get it on any thicker than that, even if I wanted. I'll get a little bit more on here. That same action again. Put it right here. Push up until I hit the ceiling. Angle it and across. Push it up, angle it across. And I've got plenty on there. Okay. I do that right there where my grout line is. And I can come back to that tile. Let's come back to that tile. I can push up, angle it out at 45, push up, angle out at a 45, pull it across. And get the top of that. Okay. Now this time, I'm going to go this way. Forehand, up here, angle it across. I can't even really see that because this is in my way, but I know I'm going straight across. This way I can only go up to there before I have to come up this way, see? Right. I'm going to concentrate on that little inside corner right there at the top before I come across this way. I guess I'll get these tiles. I don't want to go too far with my cut in before I finish off these tiles with my paintbrush. Okay. Okay, so let's just finish off these top tiles. If you think you got to put a little bit more sealer on there, put a little bit more. Don't try to squeeze out every little bit of the top of the sealer off of your paintbrush, so you don't have to dip again. You know, get it about the same each time, and you should be fine. Make sure don't you forget get those grout lines. Okay. I could probably finish it with just that little bit, but I'm just going to dip a little bit more because I don't want to, I'm just doing it the same every time. So I got the same amount of sealer on there. But like I say, there's only so much you can put on until you got to just leave it alone. Okay. See how this one, I'm going to have to backhand it straight up, angle it, look over the top of it, and do your best to try not to get it on your ceiling and stuff. You shouldn't really have to get it on your ceiling. If you just push it up to there and pull it straight across, you should be fine. And look, make sure that your grout line gets saturated. Okay? We want that grout line to look wet, don't we? We don't want that top edge of that grout line to look light color. If you just go and try to paint seal your tiles, and if you're not concentrating on that grout line, some of that grout line is going to get wet with the sealer, and some it's not. And then it's going to look splotchy up there. It's going to look light in some areas and dark in some areas. Okay? I should really be doing this one tile at a time, the very same. But see that one, I did that tile for some reason. I don't know why I did that. I'm just going to have to remember, and I can see it through the light and stuff. And see, I can't really see it above there, but I can go this way, and now I can see it better. Okay. Slide it up, 45, pull it across. Boom. You're going to be a painter here. Yeah. Do a little bit, dab a little bit out of there, lift it up upside down so it doesn't drip. I don't think I've dripped any on the tub yet on this coat. I showed you that one little bit. I dripped just one little glob from the first coat, and but I clean it off after it dries with a razor blade. Now remember, I already did that tile from before. I got to remember where I stopped and started, huh? Since I'm over here, I'm just going to finish this off over here. Oh geez, I already got that tile, I forgot. Okay. And I hit that tile, I've got to hit these three. I mean, I'm just jumping around. I should really concentrate more, but I'm trying to talk and work at the same time. And I can just cut that in. I'm glad I'm not using that other container. I can hang on, balance myself. My little paint tray is working fine, isn't it, for this? See, I'm just gonna put a lid, just dab it in. I'm not trying to saturate my brush any more than I have to. Okay. And take off the excess. You'll know when you've got the excess off. Okay? And just that little bit of sealer I had in there is enough to finish this whole area off. Okay. I gotta hit this tile here too. And because it's kind of off-white when you put it on, you'll really be able to tell whether or not you missed a tile or not as you go. Okay? And now I've got to hit this this bottom edge. This might make it a little clear what I'm doing here. I can get down just on one rung. Now I can just do this, and I'm just going to be careful cutting in, and you just wiggle the brush a little bit as you get in close. Wiggle it and slide it in there. Okay? Even though it's a cut-in brush, it works. Okay? You see it with your own eyes. I'm not doing any funny business. This is a throwaway paintbrush. It looks kind of crappy once you get going, but it works. Trust me. If you really want to mess up a really good paintbrush, and plus, if you get one with too many bristles, it might be harder to cut in than using a little throwaway paintbrush like this. Okay? Especially when you start cutting in next to the grout and your wall, let's say. Okay? Now I'm just taking off the excess. There, I've got just a little bit more paint on here. And see on this, I'll start at the top. If I do that, I get runs down there, and then I should be able to use that same sealer that's run and take off the remainder. I see a little bit here that's kind of come down, just a little bit here. Okay, and then that'll tell you how much you're dripping, if you're dripping at all. Okay, and man, I've got just a little bit left of sealer for the rest of these two tiles. Okay, get it on there, make sure you do the vertical ones. Don't forget, because you want to get those grout lines. You really want to get those grout lines good. Okay. Wow, I've used everything up. My sealer. I've got just enough for this one little last tile with squares there. I've already done this other side. I really don't want to mess with those. I don't have to go over those again. Okay? Looking at that. See, just after a few minutes, you're going to see this is going to drip down to a certain extent. But that's okay, because now I'm getting ready to start sealing these other tiles. So if I see any more of those little drips, because I'm doing it all in one go, I'm going to hit them anyways. You know, I'm not staying off this too long to where that's going to dry before I get on it with my next bit. Okay? I'll see if I can do this. You can do it too. I know you can. Just take your time with it. We're not in a big old rush with anybody. We're not competing against a professional painter as to how long it's going to take to do this. Because I started over here, do I have to start here now? Hey, I can start wherever I want at this point. And I think I'll have to decide here in a minute, but for right now, I gotta put some more sealer in my little container.